See if this works. If everything's working.
All right.
You gotta make sure everything's working real fast, bro. So give me just a second. It ain't showing on YouTube.
What's going on, man?
Man, same old. What's good with you? Just a second, bro. I'm sorry, man. I gotta make sure it's working.
I hear you. It's Caps and Full out in Brooklyn, New York.
All right, man. We good. We running.
Check me out at Caps in Full G, just the way I say it. Caps in Full G.
What's up, boys? My big homie right here, man. Caps in Full G. It's your boy Cardinal Red Room Sports, Highland Boxing Talk, man. We wanted to come in and bring y'all some live boxing talk from two different perspectives. You know what I'm saying? The red perspective and the cap perspective. I'm in Kentucky. Where you at, Cap? Where you at?
I'm out here in Brooklyn.
Yeah, Brooklyn.
Yeah, man. Thanks for letting me on your channel, man. I really appreciate that, yo.
That's all good. What part of Brooklyn you in?
Over here by Crown Heights.
Crown Heights. That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. So everybody in New York City, holla at Caps, man. You know what I'm saying? Try to do his thing, grow his channel. So we're gonna start this off with talking about Terence Crawford versus Manny Pacquiao. A lot of news broke today. What you say you was watching earlier?
I saw a little bit of Blue. I saw a little bit of a couple of stations. You know what I'm saying? But the thing with Ryan Garcia, like he needs to go back and fight Tank. That's what he said, right?
Yeah.
So this thing with Crawford, what I'm not getting is a lot of people are saying that, how can I say this? In the past, Bob Arum and Terence Crawford, they had some negotiations. Now, half the time, I don't believe it if I hear from one side of the party, and that's Bob Arum. But the last fight, they both, at the end of their fight, was on TV and said, yeah, we was looking to get that fight out the country. So that's a fact right there. That's a fact right there. Now, all that disappeared, right? All that disappeared for a minute. And then we did the circus thing with McGregor. He lost. Then we did the circus thing with Ryan. That's not pulling through. So they said. We don't know yet. So where do you think this is going to go to now? Well, what's this thing with this backtracking with Bob Arum?
With Bob Arum? Do I think Bob Arum's going to actually let Manny Pacquiao fight Terence Crawford? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, because to tell you the truth, it's maybe he won't and maybe he will. It depends how his money function is going.
I think Bob Arum will make the fight, but it's gonna have to be in his favor. And I think he's definitely gonna want it in his favor since Pacquiao's not a champion anymore. I don't think he's gonna allow Terence Crawford to fight him and not get the higher piece of the pie. I think it's too much of a risk for Crawford getting beat, and for him not to make the most if Crawford gets beat. And then Crawford takes some type of slide in popularity. I don't think Bob Arum will let him fight him unless he's getting the bigger piece of the pie, basically.
Right. Okay. I can see that.
But with the way things are going, I see the fight happening with the way things are going. Because to me, it's going to play out like this. It can only play out two ways. Either Earl Spence and you guys are going to get it on. Or you guys is gonna fight Pacquiao, and if those two, or Spence can come in and try to fight Pacquiao, but there's no reason for Spence to fight Pacquiao anymore because he doesn't have a belt. Basically. So the only other option to me is for Pacquiao and you guys to get it on, or Pacquiao and Crawford to get it on.
Okay,
but
that's what I'm saying about the legacy. Mm-hmm. No, that's what I'm saying about the legacy and the money. Like, they can't blame Manny Pacquiao anymore for whatever about him holding the belt hostage. We know that.
Yeah.
He's free as a bird. So if he's free as a bird, do they let him back in? Do they introduce bring him back in and then say it's Manny Pacquiao holding up the division because your legacy come first. I mean, you will fight each other, right?
I don't feel like
if not.
I don't feel like he was holding up the division though. I think people say that as an excuse, as an excuse for. Hold on, you cutting out, bro. You cutting out.
You hear me?
I can hear you now. What you say? Go ahead.
No, I'm saying like this thing about Spence and he's not fighting Spence and this and that but I'm saying it said he's gonna duck Crawford and Spence. That's the saying. They say, oh, Manny Pacquiao will never do that. So now, what does it look like now if he goes and get this fight with Crawford? How would that look on Spence? Because the last thing Manny Pacquiao said was Spence is too slow. He's too slow. So if he's too slow, you're on this side of the street with Spence. Why not fight him? So if it has nothing to do with Manny Pacquiao, maybe it has something to do with Spence not wanting to take that fight. Because a lot of people said he would not fight the top, Spence or Crawford. Now they claiming Crawford's pound for pound. So if Manny Pacquiao whip that ass, is he pound for pound, or are we going to change the rules here?
I think Manny Pacquiao is the best out of those three names until either Terence Crawford and Earl Spence fight each other, or one of them fight Manny Pacquiao and put him in retirement.
Right, but like I said, I think you agree too that we feel that Spence won't give him the competition that Crawford would give him.
Do I feel like Spence will give Manny Pacquiao the same competition that Terence Crawford will give him?
Yeah.
I think it would be a different fight. It would definitely be a different type of fight. It wouldn't be the same as if if they fought each other. It would be a totally different type of fight. But I think.
You know what I think? I think Terence Crawford, I mean, a lot of people say, well, he got a lot of tools because he could switch. But if you think about it, if he starts off on a southpaw position and then he switched to the right, what are you showing Manny? Because Manny fight mostly orthodox fighters.
So are you asking if he's going to show Manny anything different, or is he going to show Spence anything different?
No, I'm talking about in the Terence Crawford fight. Let's say, because, Terence Crawford is a switcher.
Yeah.
Right? They say he has more tools in the toolbox, and they make one of the things is that he could switch good and he could jab good, which is true. But if you start off on a southpaw position and then you switch to a right orthodox side, what is that you showing Manny? Because Manny usually fight orthodox fighters.
I don't think. Go ahead.
Now, to me, if you're going to use the switch to be strategic with the switch, you have to use it constantly. Just like people say, you got to turn Manny or you got to stop him right in his tracks before he starts off. So if you're going to do the switching, I know you're not a marvelous Marvin Hagler and doing that stunt with Hitman and switching and getting him at the right time. But can you use your switching ability to distract him? And if you can't, even if you have the tools in the toolbox and you go back to the blueprint where they said that No Risk Floyd fought Manny and how he set him up with the jab and set him up. This is what he would usually do. He would just grab him when he's too close, or he'd stay out of distance and range. You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah. You think Terence Crawford's going to use that same type of tactic against Manny Pacquiao, like trying to bully him, kind of like Floyd Mayweather did?
Or like Jeff Horn?
Because I mean, they both did it, but I think Mayweather did it. He was more huggish with it. He was more standoffish with it. He didn't want to come back with Pacquiao. But Jeff Horn didn't care. He was throwing headbutts, elbows. Yeah, he was being a monster with it. Like Mayweather was more technical with it, I think.
So where I get out of the Jeff Horn fight is that Manny is durable and he's hard to drop. You know what I'm saying? Even when you're doing all those. He doesn't complain, I mean, you get hit with a low blow, of course. So if you get cut, of course, you're going to have to stop the fight and they're going to check the cut. But other than that, the way Jeff Horn was handling him, and Jeff Horn was a damn middleweight. In that fight, he was a middleweight, man. He was just up there to me. I looked at that boy. He was like, nah, he's up there, man. So he rehydrated and he looked like he was just big. So if you could handle a Jeff Horn in that such matter, and Jeff Horn can't drop you and stuff like that. And I think that at the end of the day, Spence and Crawford, they're not going to stop him from getting in with Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao is going to get in, and when he gets in, for Crawford, it's his chin, and for Spence, it's more of how durable he's going to stay up. Because listen, out of all these welterweights,
I think it's going to be. I think it's a test of the chin for both of them now. That Spence been through this car accident. That he went through that car accident. So we don't. Danny Garcia didn't really test his chin. He didn't really get. Manny Pacquiao's going to land shots. Well, Danny Garcia didn't really land a lot of shots if he fights Earl Spence. So I feel like it would be a test of his chin based off the fact that he had that car accident. If that's the first fight he goes into after Danny is Manny Pacquiao, which I don't think he is. I think he's gonna end up getting this you guys fight, and they're gonna freeze. I feel like they're gonna freeze Pacquiao out. If he gets that you guys fight, he's gonna freeze Pacquiao and Crawford out. I think. So I feel like this. If Earl Spence gets that belt from you guys, right? If he fights you guys and beats them, then why does he have to fight Terence Crawford at that point? Crawford's not going to take he already won't take the 60-40 split. If Spence gets another belt, he's going to want an 80-20 split. What's stopping him from asking for 80-20?
Exactly.
So I don't think if he gets that other belt, I don't think it's going to happen.
So now I don't think Pacquiao will fight Ugas because he's not a big draw. Even though he's a champion.
I mean, he's a draw now because he got his belt. He got his belt.
But at the same time, with Manny, like, I'm going to fight for this belt again after they stripped it from me.
But look at it like this, though. Look at it like this, though. Look at it like this, though. Neither one of them is a draw. Terence Crawford's not a draw compared to Manny Pacquiao. Earl Spence is not a draw compared to Manny Pacquiao.
But who brings in more numbers? Spence or Crawford? I have Spence bringing more. Because now they're talking about Spence overdid Canelo. So I'm just saying, like...
Of course, both of them bring in better numbers than you guys is, but... I think the you guys fight's more exciting to me because it's an unknown. We know what Terence Crawford and Earl Spence are going to do. We don't know what's going to happen in the you guys fight. Right. You know, he could come in there and knock Manny Pacquiao out or beat him on the cards. Nobody expected Tim Bradley to beat Manny Pacquiao. He came out of nowhere. Nobody expected Jeff Horn to beat Manny Pacquiao. He came out of nowhere. What you know?
Yeah, 7 losses, and those 2 right there, I feel those 2 that he got robbed to me.
I mean, it was robbery. I'm not saying that they beat him fairly. I'm just saying that those guys came out of nowhere and got a victory. So what's stopping you guys from coming out of nowhere and getting a victory? Do I think he can beat Pacquiao? No, I don't think he can beat Pacquiao, but I think there's a lot of allure around that fight. And I think that would be the better role for Pacquiao to take than trying to go straight into a Spence or a Crawford fight.
But that's the thing. I'm saying if you can't get a fight with Spence and you're on the same side and he has 2 belts and you're going to go and fight for a belt that you lost, I would feel some kind of way.
But you guys is on PBC. You guys signed with PBC.
Huh?
You guys, he's a PBC fighter. You guys are a PBC fighter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They both on the same side.
So it would be, what I'm saying is it would be easier to make you guys fight than it would be to make the Terence Crawford fight. Because they're all 3 of them on the same side. So either of those 3 can face off, and it would be easier to make that fight. But it's going to be difficult to make for any of them 3 to make a fight with Terence Crawford because he's over there with Bob Arum. You know, all 3 of them are kind of like together.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Spence and Ugas are on the same side, right? Correct?
Yep. And Pacquiao.
And Pac. So this is what I'm saying. This is the thing that's getting to my head here. Like, I'm trying to get answers without, somebody stating that this is this. The situation is that he could get a fight with Ugas and Spence. Spence is a bigger draw. Spence got 2 belts. Manny Pacquiao lost his belt and Ugas got it. If I was Pac, I would have been like, whatever, and not even bother with that. Spence, on the other hand, I'm just saying, if Manny Pacquiao gets a fight with Crawford, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that put something in your brain like, yo, why? It was so much easier to get a fight with Ugas and Spence. Why did he go over here and he got the fight? What would you think about that? What do you think somebody's
I think like we was talking about the other day, it's got a lot to do with economics and the money in boxing at the moment. I just don't feel like I feel like this. I feel like it would be easier for PBC to pay you guys and Earl Spence than it would be for them to pay Earl Spence and Manny Pacquiao.
Of course, because they paid for Manny Pacquiao for Broner and Keith.
Hey, basically.
What it is.
He kind of derailed. This was funny. You know what? I will say this about the Manny Pacquiao situation, him getting stripped. Now, Keith Thurman was off for 2 years when he fought Manny Pacquiao. He was off for 2 because I think he broke his hand, right? So he was off for 4. Yeah, he was off for 2 years. I don't know if he got a medical exemption. I can't say he might have had a medical waiver. But I don't think he had a medical because they was threatening to strip him of the title. But I don't understand how he got to. They were going to strip him, and they waited 2 years. So I don't see how he got to wait 2 years and then make a fight and not be stripped. But Manny Pacquiao didn't even get the opportunity to make his fight. You understand what I'm saying? They just stripped him. Yeah, they just stripped him.
The sanctioned body that stripped him was the WBC.
WBA.
No. He has the WB. Oh, okay, yeah. He has the WBA. Yeah. But no, I'm saying with Keith Thurman, when he got stripped of the WBC and he had the WBA, right? Who stripped him? Because he had two belts.
No. He got beat for that. No. What happened was I don't know what happened to the other belt. To tell you the truth, I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
they might have. But the belt that he did have is the one he lost to Manny Pacquiao, the WBA belt.
Right. But I'm just saying that different sanctioned bodies stripping everybody. You know what I'm saying? I know Keith had 2 belts and he got stripped from one and he kept the WBA and then Pacquiao got it from him and then they stripped Manny Pacquiao and just like my argument with Mayweather and Canelo, when I saw Mayweather and Canelo had the same belt and they was fighting, it's like, these sanctioned bodies, they do what they do when they must. And
it's all about the money, man. It's all about that's why I feel like Manny Pacquiao will probably end up fighting Terence Crawford because the money is when he's dealing with Bob Arum, the money's going to be a different split than when he's dealing with PBC. Yeah, I don't think they want to pay Manny Pacquiao $10 million to fight Earl Spence. And then possibly beat him and ruin Earl Spence's career. Yeah, exactly. I don't think they want to. I think Bob Arum's a little more desperate because he doesn't have anybody for Terence Crawford to fight. So
and he's losing money too.
He's losing millions of dollars on Crawford. So he's a little more like, okay, well, at this point, Pacquiao's old, and I feel like Crawford can compete with him. Why not do it while the iron's hot? Because if he doesn't sign a fight with Pacquiao's going to either fight you guys or Spence. It's one of those fights going to happen this year. Those guys would be crazy not to take a Pacquiao fight. If they really feel like they can beat him.
So check this out. If he fights Ugas and you don't fight Spence, what's the difference? They both champions. Why would you pick that champion instead of the one that's a bigger draw? You got Dallas. He's a bigger draw than Crawford. So,
you saying that Pacquiao fights Ugas instead of Spence?
Yeah, I said, what's the difference? The difference is Ugas has one belt. He was given that belt, and Spence got 2 belts, and he's a bigger draw. He gets more revenue, and he gets more people asses.
I think it would be smarter for Pacquiao to fight Ugas because Ugas would be more like a tune-up fight.
Yeah, that's true. And you're right. That's a good thing to do. You know why? Because in the meantime, Terence Crawford and Errol Spence should fight. And if they don't fight, and they go fight their mandatories, they ducking each other. Because basically, you don't need everybody got wet already. I don't feel like
Spence is ducking. I don't feel like everybody keeps saying Spence. Spence has all the coins in his pocket. He has all the coins. He has all the balls in his court. So there's never a reason for him to duck. I don't feel like Crawford's ducking. I think it's a thing of money to me. I think the money's not right.
Okay,
And the money's in favor of Earl Spence. The money's in his favor. It's not in Terence Crawford's favor. So either he has. Go ahead.
No, so okay, if you say it's a money thing, right? Okay, Ugas is a tune-up, right? You say that's a good, because everybody else got wet. You know, Crawford got wet with Kell Brook, and this one Spence got wet with Danny Garcia. So what's next? It's gotta either be they're gonna fight each other, right? Or and what I'm trying to say is, if Ugas is a tune-up fight, I mean, what's the sense? Because look at Manny Pacquiao. He's been trying to fight McGregor, Ryan Garcia. He's looking for that big draw. So the money perspective would overpower the tune-up, I think, at this point. Because if you're going straight to say you want Crawford next, I mean, listen, Errol Spence, he was out, and he went straight into a Danny Garcia fight. Am I right?
Yeah.
He did say, I want Danny, Crawford, and Bud. So now Manny Pacquiao has nothing to give you. He doesn't have a belt. So now it's your legacy. It's your time. Spence and Crawford should be doing this. So if they don't, it's just like, come on.
It should be Spence and Crawford, but because of the money, it's never going to happen. And it's going to take something dramatic to intervene for them two guys to actually fight. So if Pacquiao fights Crawford and beats him, then it ruins that fight. It ruins them. It ruins that fight. But if Pacquiao fights him and Crawford loses, it puts so much more money in that fight.
It's more leverage.
It's more leverage. In the meantime, I guess Spence can just fight you guys and get the other belt. But I don't feel like that's fair to Pacquiao for him to even have to be put in that position to fight either Crawford or Spence. But that's why I feel like Bob Arum and Al Heyman might have colluded behind the scenes to get the WBA to strip Pacquiao. Allegedly, I'm not saying that this is true, but allegedly, it benefits in their favor for Pacquiao not to have that belt anymore. Because he could have not fought Spence, he could have not fought Crawford and went and fought you guys, but him still have the championship and make those guys keep having to wait. So I feel like they got the belt from him, and now they can just freeze him out. Neither one of them really have to fight him.
Exactly.
And if he doesn't get either one of them to fight him and doesn't get you guys to fight him, then now he's kind of forgotten at that point. You know, if you want him out of boxing, that's how you get him out of boxing. Who's going to fight at that point? There's no other big name. Ryan Garcia fight doesn't make any sense. A Mikey Garcia fight don't make no sense. A Sean Porter fight don't make no sense. I mean, none of those fights.
At first, I didn't want the Mikey fight, and then after a while, I was just getting impatient.
If he had the belt, it would have been a good fill-up fight. But now that he doesn't have no belt, what's the purpose?
Exactly. So I don't know. I feel like I'm just saying, if he gets the Crawford fight, it tells a lot of what's going on the other side of the street, man. Because like you said, it's a risk to Spence if he loses. It messes his whole career. Like, it won't mess it up, but it would be how he lost.
Pacquiao knocked him out. That's definitely going to end his career. But the same goes with Crawford. Pacquiao knocks him out. But if Pacquiao knocks out you guys, who cares? He just got his belt back.
But it leaves an imprint on the generation, because I don't think nobody really want Manny Pacquiao beating anybody in this generation. And
they don't want that, man. Not the big name guys. They don't want to beat.
At the end of the day, people are like, "Oh, these welterweights ain't nothing like compared to the welterweights with Mayweather."
Exactly, because that's what I was trying to get at earlier when I was talking about Keith Thurman. But when Pacquiao beat Thurman, everybody forgot about Thurman. Who cares about Thurman now? It's been 2 years since Keith Thurman's fought.
Right, and he wants to fight everybody now.
You know what I'm saying? It's been the same amount of time that Pacquiao's been in active. That's the last time we saw Keith Thurman fight. So I feel like the same thing would happen to Terence Crawford and Earl Spence Jr. if they took a loss to Pacquiao. Both of those guys, one of those guys is going to disappear. You're not going to see him, and the other one's going to be the king of the world, because not only is he going to get a shot at Pacquiao, but he's going to have all those titles if he beats Pacquiao. And And he has no rival at that point. There's no more rivalry. There'll be no more rivalry.
But that's the risk you take when you put Manny Pacquiao back in the mix, because he has no belt. Yes, he's an icon. Yes, he's a cash cow. But if you bring him back in, do not complain that he's holding up the division. Don't complain about a lot of things.
Do you feel like he was holding up the division? Him having a belt and not fighting?
No.
Being in that for all that time?
No, because remember, after the fight with Keith Thurman, this is when all this Verona thing came around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it just put a bad shadow on everything, man. So it's
all bad timing. It was a lot of bad timing.
Right.
I mean, I don't feel like they can blame him for bad. Everybody knows what's going on in the world. So I don't see how they even came up with the decision to strip him without at least waiting until he announced the fight, or at least contacting him to find out if he's about to announce a fight, a real fight. Because obviously they didn't contact him directly because they can see at all the talks when they stripped him was that he was going to have a fight with either McGregor or Ryan Garcia. Now everything's flipping to him fighting Terence Crawford. What's to say that wasn't his intention the whole time? Because we don't know where those Ryan Garcia talks came from. We know where the Conor McGregor talk came from. It came from Pacquiao. The whole Ryan Garcia talk came out of nowhere. Who knew? Nobody wanted to see Pacquiao fight Ryan Garcia until that news broke that day. Nobody cared about that fight.
But Manny Pacquiao did have a clip him saying Ryan Garcia. You remember the clip? And then they said, the lady asked him, he's like, yo, the lady said that, he said a couple of names. He said a couple of names. Yeah, he said Ryan's about the same age as your son, and he laughed and he was like, "Yeah, but it is." You know what I'm saying? So he had that in his mind. Somebody put it in his mind.
But I'm saying, was that his intention before McGregor got knocked out?
Oh no, that was on his intentions.
So I'm saying, if that wasn't his intention before McGregor got knocked out, who's to say Ryan Garcia was his secondary pick?
No. I could tell you how that goes. When after the thing happened with McGregor, right? When he had that fight with Luke Campbell, Ryan Garcia, and he said he wanted Tank first, and then he said he wanted Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah.
I think when they heard that in the grapevine, I think his team, Manny Pacquiao team, introduced it to him. But I don't know, because Manny Pacquiao's like, listen, just find a fighter and I'll fight him.
That's how I feel. I don't think he cares who the opponent is. I think he does now. I think the up until McGregor got knocked out and he got stripped, I don't think he cared who the opponent was. I think now he feels like he has to be strategic, even more strategic, because if he doesn't get a Spence fight, a Crawford fight, or a you guys fight, who cares? Who cares who he fights? Who cares? It's going to become awkward for Pacquiao at that point.
Yeah, but the way I see it, I just see it like, if you got so much leverage on the PBC side. Why things ain't gonna get done? Where you have to go all the way over yonder, back over here with Bud and Bob Arum. That's the thing that's really getting. Even though no one's talking about it, that's the thing I'm getting at. Like,
I think maybe Spence has already jumped on it. You guys fight. I think that's the problem. I think Pacquiao was too slow. Man, I talked about the Pacquiao versus you guys maybe about 2.5-3 months ago. And I said these exact words. He needs to announce a you guys fight because you guys is his mandatory. And he's been his mandatory for over a year. And if he don't, he got the possibility of being stripped, and that becomes a dangerous situation for Pacquiao because nobody's going to care about him if he has no title. They already don't want to fight him because he's old and he's still dangerous. And they don't want to fight him because not because he's old, but because he's still dangerous and he's old. And if you get beat by the old dangerous guy, it's going to mess your career. But if you knock out the old guy, everybody's going to say you knocked out the old guy. Yeah, it's a double-edged sword in a way. Really, it's really a double-edged.
It also hurts that if Manny Pacquiao beat a pound for pound of Crawford or Spence. It hurts the whole welterweight division.
It's going to tear it up. It's going to rearrange the whole division. It's going to rearrange the whole division.
Is Manny Pacquiao going over here with Barbara and take a cut, or is he getting his $20 million, or he's going to get $10 million? Or is it going to be
unless they can wait until August or September to see what happens with all this stuff, like you said, with the Rona going on in the world, and see how if everything gets opened back up, then I don't think he gets that amount of money because it's just not going to happen because there's no gate. There's no gate to pay these promoters off of now. They're only going to get what they make off pay-per-view and what they can get off the few fans they do put in the arena, whether it's 10, maybe 15,000 people. But that don't compare to 50,000 people in the stadium.
So check this out. Do PBC have one more fight with Manny Pacquiao?
And that's another thing. That's my thing. I'm not understanding all this because Pacquiao technically still under contract with them, so you would think they would be trying to make. But hold on, I said this the other day too in the video. Is that they was I believe it said that Manny Pacquiao's advisor has spoken with, because that's when the Ryan Garcia talk. He was saying that the Ryan Garcia talk wasn't true. Manny Pacquiao is working with Al Heyman and PBC to put on a major show for 2021 with him headlining. And that was the art. I ain't gonna find that article. It's in one of my past like 3 videos. But so I'm saying it's got to be something in the works in the background. Whether it's going to be a Spence fight or you guys fight. I'm leaning more toward if he don't fight Crawford, he's going to fight you guys. I think Spence is kind of in chillax mode right now, and he just has to wait and see what those two guys come up with. You know what I'm saying? Because
Pacquiao.
No, Pacquiao and Crawford.
Oh, Pacquiao and Crawford.
Yeah. And to the lesser extent, Pacquiao, because you don't have no belt. It's fucked up. I'm not fault. But it sounds messed up, but that's what it is. That's what it is. It's a messed up situation right now for Pacquiao because he doesn't have a belt anymore. He's in a peculiar situation, and if he doesn't get a high name fight, he stands the risk of being phased out of everything because nobody's going to care if who he fights next, if it's not Spence, Crawford, or you guys.
Right? Yeah, I don't know. Only reason why I won't pick Ugas is because the money situation. I mean, that's the only reason.
I think that makes sense too. I think that makes sense.
I think they his team would be like, I ain't making no money for you, and I mean, you get the belt back.
Do you feel like the you guys versus Spence fight makes more than the you guys versus Pacquiao fight?
Spence? Oh yeah, Spence.
No. I mean, like if you guys fought Spence, would it make more money than if you guys fought Pacquiao?
No.
You think you guys versus Pacquiao will make more money?
Yeah, because he have a whole country behind him.
Yeah, I feel the same way, and I think you guys, if you guys is a smart man, he fights Pacquiao because if he beats him, he's the king of the world. But I mean, if he loses, I mean, nobody's gonna he just loses. But if he fights Earl Spence and loses, nobody's expecting him to win anyway. I don't feel like nobody's gonna really tune into that fight. But I think if you guys fought Pacquiao, I think people would tune into that fight just because of the allure, and they want to see if Pacquiao can get his belt back. It would build up a Earl Spence fight a lot more. I think if he fought you guys. Now the Terence Crawford fight would be really exciting to see, but I think the you guys fight, like you said, because of money would be easier to make.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just the money. If this is all in the background, everything is money. This is what's holding up everything.
Everything is money. I mean, and until
holding up everything. So if Ugas is not really worth it, even though it'd be a smart move, another move to make, I I don't see why he can't fight Spence or Crawford. And like I said, I keep saying that. I don't understand how he got to go over there with Spence, which I got no problem. I mean, with Crawford, I got no problem with that. Fight Crawford, I want to see that too. But if you're on the same side, I just don't get how you can't make shit work. You had a fight with Broner, you had a fight with Keith, you had everybody on that side. You just got to get Spence or Ugas. But if you're gonna make a fight with Ugas, what does that tell me about Spence? Can you ask me that? Like,
I think the ball is in Spence's court right now, and I feel like this. If Spence is smart, he would just let all three of them guys work it out. He'll just chill for the next year. I mean, you went through the accident, you came back, you fought Danny, did good, you won, you're on top of the world. Why not chill out for a year, let Pacquiao, you guys, and Crawford work it out? And then
he can't chill out for no year. He trying to get that money. Because remember,
the only bad thing I feel like that would come out of that though is if Crawford ended up with you guys' belt. Then Spence is in some trouble because now Crawford he has leverage to negotiate with Spence.
Right. Okay. But no, I was trying to get something.
My bad, bro. My bad. You know how it be when you get into something, you try to get it out.
Yeah. But like I said, I just think that if Spence don't fight Manny Pacquiao, because that's what I'm saying. On the list, he said I wanted Spence. I wanted Crawford, Manny Pacquiao, and Danny Garcia. That's what's on the list. He did everything he said on the list. He came back. Yeah. He didn't take no tune-up. He went straight into a Danny Garcia fight. So that's struck out the record now. It's two other people that you said you wanted. So now, if you go over here with Ugas, of course you're doing it because you're trying to get more leverage. But at the same time, if you said you wanted Pacquiao in the first place, right?
Yeah.
Belt or no belt, you're gonna grab that. You're gonna grab that fight.
You know what, man? We've been talking for 30 minutes, and I forgot there's people in the chat. I forgot there's people in the chat, and they've been over leaving us comments, and I ain't been paying no attention to it, man. My bad, y'all. My bad. Necessary said, "What's up, Cap?" He said, "What's up, Cap? What's up, Red?" He had a question. Red, who do you think Pac should fight next? And the same question to Cap.
All right. Who I think he should fight next is whoever could come up with his money. Whoever could come up with his money. Basically, that's what Manny Pacquiao is talking about. My worth. Now, if you can't do 20 and you can do 10, fine. But the way I keep saying this is the thing that people not listening to me. You don't have a belt no more. Fine. No one could claim that you holding shit up. But if you have two people that's tugging at you, right? They got the bidding war on. Why can't you do more business on this side where Spence is? That's my problem. And that's what I'm saying. His actions by going by Terence Crawford, which is cool, because he got a belt too, right?
Yeah.
It is what it is. If you could go over there, what's the problem over there? What's the problem over there? Is it Spence ducking him?
I see what you're saying. It does make some sense. It makes it seem like there's something else going on in PBC.
Let me say one more thing. Manny Pacquiao did say Spence is slow. He recently said that.
And that's what I was about to get at. That's what I was about to get at. I think, like I said, it's crazy. It's crazy that Pacquiao got stripped. Number one. It's even crazier that Spence is now saying that he wants to fight you guys after Pacquiao said that he was slow. All this shit tied in. And like I said, Spence can just freeze these guys out. Now he don't have to fight Pacquiao. He don't have to fight Crawford. He don't have to fight you guys. He can just be like, I'm going to chill. I'm going to let y'all work it out. And then whoever comes out on the other side of that, I can just fight them. I'm going to beat them anyway. And I'm going to be the king at the end of the day. But that's the easy route for him. why take the hard route when you can let them guys take the hard route? They can go knock each other out, and he can just be he can get the slim pickings at the end. I think that's his strategy at this point. And it would be smart of him to follow that strategy. So, because why go through two hard fights if you can just have one hard fight? Or actually, what would be an easy fight at the end because those guys already beat each other up. And the balls in Spencer's court. I mean,
because if he goes with Ugas, he gets the belt. Of course, he got more leverage than he could pull on Crawford. He got more leverage, 80-20, whatever. Right? He could do that. And then if he has a Manny Pacquiao fight, his pay increases.
Big time.
Am I right on that?
Big
time. He got that other belt. He just leveled up. So he got a lot of leverage.
But the problem with that is if he fights you guys and gets that belt, where does Pacquiao go if he doesn't get a Crawford fight? That means we're going to end up waiting like 8 or 9 months, and Pacquiao would have still not fought anybody.
So you're saying if Spence got that belt from Ugas,
so if Spence and Ugas fight, you know that's going to happen sometime in probably like in the early summertime.
But what if it happens? What will really happen? Like,
what you mean? If them two guys fight?
Yeah, if those two fight and Spence beat him, well, that doesn't mean that Crawford's still going to fight Spence. They still not going to be in agreement.
No, I'm saying who would Pacquiao fight at that point? If he doesn't get the Terence Crawford fight and Earl Spence and you guys fight, who would Manny Pacquiao fight at that point? Because he's going to be sitting around for about 4, 5, 6 months with nobody to fight. Because nobody's going to care if he fights Sean Porter, or nobody's going to care if he fights Manny Garcia or Ryan Garcia or Mikey. Who cares? Nobody's going to care at that point.
Listen. The only thing I could get out of a Mikey fight, I'm going to tell you right now. The only thing I could get out of a Mikey fight is that the only benefit is that Mikey have a country behind him. The other advantage for Manny, he's tuning up. He's staying active. You got to stay active. You just can't play basketball every day. You know what I'm saying? You got to be active. Yeah. So that's one advantage that he could have instead of being aged out, because that's what they're really going to do. They're going to age him out. A Mikey fight, I don't like it, and the second thing I get out of it is an ass whipping. I want to see the comparison of the ass whipping that Spence put on Mikey and the comparison of Manny Pacquiao putting an ass whipping on Mikey. And then after that, I want to hear an announcement what Manny Pacquiao want to do. Is he going to fight Spence? Because that would be nice, because if that comes about and he beats Mikey and he calls out Spence, well, that's the same reverse psychology that Spence did when he was in the ring. He called out Manny with the same fighter you beat. Wouldn't that be crazy?
But what if Terence Crawford fights Mikey Garcia then?
Well, I think the only thing that Terence Crawford won is Manny Pacquiao. I think he want to cash this shit out. Either he wins or if he loses. If he loses, I don't think I've been watching Crawford and his bullshit with Bob Arum and them going back and forth and lying and then saying, oh, Manny Pacquiao's ducking. But the next thing you know, Bob Arum said he blocked the fight. So if Manny want the fight, that tells you what happened a long time was on their side. It was lying.
Exactly.
Because Manny Pacquiao is willing to fight Crawford.
Exactly. Even at 42 years old.
They've been lying all this time. So all I think that Crawford wants is Manny. He wants that fight more than he wants Spence. To tell you, I feel that way. Even though I think they both want to fight each other, I think it's just a money grab thing with Manny Pacquiao.
Hey, you know what? You know what's crazy? That could possibly be a cash out fight from Top Rank too for Terence Crawford, because I think that's his last fight. Is that how long? Did he just sign a contract, or is he at the end of his contract?
His contract ends in October.
So if he fought Pacquiao, that would be his last fight on Top Rank, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would, sir.
That would be his last fight on Top Rank boxing. So it'd be a heck of a way to cash out Top Rank boxing.
So see the advantage with Bob Arum? You see what he's doing?
Yeah.
Because if you're going to cash out with anybody, you're going to cash out with Manny Pacquiao.
You're going to cash out. Yeah. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. I think I would rather see him fight you guys, but if he got the Crawford fight, I wouldn't be mad. I think I would. It would be an exciting fight. Who you got winning?
Who's that?
If Pacquiao. Hold on. We got another comment. I'm gonna ask you this comment. Do you think if Pac does a tune-up with Ryan, he should take on Bud next and take his belt? Would that give more leverage and raise the stakes for the Spence versus Pacquiao fight? I don't think he should be. Me personally, I don't think he should be fighting all three of them.
Fight who? Ryan?
See, he was asking if you think he does a tune-up with Ryan Garcia, he should fight Bud after that and then fight Earl Spence after that.
Well, if Ryan gets the opportunity to fight Manny Pacquiao and they think the numbers are going to do good because it's his subs and all this, if that's the fight, then that's the fight. But then after that fight, it's up to these two what they want to do with it. Who wants Manny Pacquiao? Because Manny Pacquiao ain't got no belt. So who's going to cash out? And I think it's Crawford. Crawford wants Manny Pacquiao. I think that's more than a Spence, because Spence could get busy. He could get busy with Ugas or something. Yeah, he got another way out. You know?
I think that's going to dictate a lot. I think the Pacquiao Terence Crawford negotiations are going to be real heavy based on the fact that Spence and you guys are already kind of sidelined agreed to fight each other. So I think it kind of forces because Terence Crawford really don't have nobody to fight right now. You know, the PBC guys don't really want to fight him, and the only other name out there, hey, is Manny Pacquiao. If you win, you're on top of the world. If you win, but if you lose, he better have a plan if he loses.
That the only reason why he ain't fighting no PBC fighters because Bob Arum keeps lowballing him. From Mikey, from Danny.
I'm not disagreeing.
From Porter, all of them got lowball.
But I think okay. Let's play devil's advocate. Let's play devil's advocate for Bob Arum. Okay.
What's going on now? With Gamboas and Timofimo Lopez.
What happened?
Too. They don't want him to pay. They don't want to pay to go to Australia. They don't want to do that. They iffy about that right now. So anything Bob Arum touch, it's always some issues.
So is Gambo on top rank boxing?
I'm not sure if he's with Duco or if he's in Australia, but I'm not sure if he's with Bob Arum, but maybe he is.
Because that's normally Manny Pacquiao's sparring partner.
Right.
He spars with him a lot. He spars with him a lot. Yeah, he's pretty good. Yeah. I miss a lot. I've been wanting to catch him in fights. Every time he fights, I miss him. It's always a word time when he fights.
So if Timo don't get that fight, then that's a whole different story with Devin Haney or whoever he wants to fight. But regardless, if Manny Pacquiao is there and Ryan, he'll pick Manny Pacquiao. It's just obvious. You know, who won't pick Manny Pacquiao? Anybody say they won't pick Manny Pacquiao, then they'd be like, okay, something must be wrong with you because he's the icon, regardless if he has a belt or not. Regardless if he has a belt or not, everybody wants to fight Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah. They want to fight him because of what you said earlier about him bringing Philippines with him. They want the money that's going to come along with their fight.
And the only person that ain't gonna fight him is No Risk Mayweather. That's why I call him now. No Risk. I'm just saying, because if it was about the money, if your name is Money Mayweather,
let's settle this Mayweather talk right now. Hold on, I want to say something real quick though. But we only got like 15 more minutes, man, and then my battery on my camera's gonna die. So I wanted to say something though about Bob Arum. I want to play devil's advocate real fast for Bob Arum. I know everybody rides old Bob's back, man. Y'all know he's a dinosaur. He ain't gonna make 69 more steps. We gonna play devil's advocate for Bob Arum. So is this really Bob Arum's fault that he's lowballing the PBC fighters, or is that just a sign of the times? Is there just not money involved in those fights as much as the PBC fighters think that there is?
Well, it's the sign of the times also, but at the same time, if it's the sign of the times on Bob Arum, and on the side of the times with Keith Porter and Broner and Manny Pacquiao got that fight. What did he pull from those two fights alone? I mean, I'm saying So the side of the times, it might not be on your side.
Because I think Manny Pacquiao took a pay cut for both of those fights. I don't think he got paid.
I don't think he got paid what he was.
And none, right? Around there, something.
It was somewhere around like 8 or 10, somewhere around there for both of them,
I think.
So I feel like this though for Bob Arum. I feel like because it's a sign of it's just a sign of the times. And I think the PBC fighters kind of because they got all that fame for being on free TV. They put themselves on a certain level that they're not really at yet. And Bob Arum has had so many pay-per-view fighters that he looks at those guys different than he did the stable of fighters he had. So I feel like he has a legitimate point to lowball some of those guys because they've never done pay-per-view numbers. So what makes you think that I need to pay you such and such amount of dollars unless we're going to do it on free TV and then nobody's going to make money? What makes you think I should overpay you for a fight that might not make money?
That's the thing about mandatories and money. I mean, if you're a mandatory, if Keith Thurman, if Sean Porter is a mandatory to Terence Crawford, he is a mandatory.
He's mandatory.
Yeah, it's mandatory.
Well, that's different. So that fight should just be made like that. It should just be made. It shouldn't be a question of money involved. But that also reflects on Sean Porter. Like why? If you're the underdog in that fight, why wouldn't you just want to go fight him? Because if you can win, then there should be no doubt in your mind. And you're going to gain more for just fighting him than you would from not fighting him.
I mean, he fought everybody. So what are you going to lose? Yeah. You fought everybody, and you win some, you lose some. You know, a couple of losses, but he fought and he got heart. I like Keith. I mean, I like Sean Porter. He's a juggernaut, man. He just keeps going. He just smothered his punches a lot. That's about it.
Yeah. He's a freight train. He's a freight train. He ain't never got. He just get. I think he gets exposed a little bit for not having great defense. He's an offensive machine, and he gets exposed for not having good defense.
He has good footwork, but the problem is I don't know. Yeah.
And then he just ain't had that great fight yet. And he's kind of been on the outside of it.
The way I see it right now, if all this could have been erased in history, if No Risk Mayweather would have fought Pacquiao.
Okay, now you bring the Floyd back here. Okay, let's go ahead and handle this. Now we're gonna talk about this before my battery down. We got about 10 more minutes.
Right, so what I'm saying is, you make more money. You ain't making more money playing Paul Logan. You're not making more money with 50 Cent. You're not making more money.
I thought the Logan Paul fight got canceled.
Yeah, it got canceled. But I'm saying these are all these fighters that you're gonna fight. You're not gonna make the same money fighting Manny Pacquiao.
You say you go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. Do you think that any of these fights he has is gonna be as big as Manny Pacquiao? Manny Pacquiao is gonna make the more revenue. So why are you taking these? You claim you're not broke. So what are you doing? If you're taking a no risk fights, why not take the big pot if your name is Money Mayweather? You're not.
Do you feel like he should risk coming back to fight Manny Pacquiao? Because if he loses, then what? Nobody's gonna care about him no more.
That's the thing, and that's the risk you're gonna take. That's why I say he's no risk. He's not gonna take the risk. He's not.
He's already like. I just feel like he's already in the record books by accident. And if he smudges that in any way by fighting Pacquiao again and loses, even if he don't get knocked out or anything, then he's completely wiped from the record books.
But see, this thing with this 50, do you like the thing with McGregor? You believe that should have been a 50 from a fighter with no record, no boxing record?
No, I don't think the Berto fight should have counted. I don't think the McGregor fight should have counted. The Berto fight was like a giveaway fight. Who was Andre Berto at that time?
Right, but the McGregor fight. I mean, come on.
The McGregor fight was a joke. The Berto fight was a joke, but the McGregor fight was even more of a joke.
So I don't think he deserved the 50. But like I said, you can't bitch about it because guess what? It's in the record books. It's set. But guess what? This is the thing I'm saying. Everybody's saying he's 50-0, 50-0. You know how many boxers are 50-0 or 51-0. Yeah,
but that's what I was about to say too. I mean, even if he wasn't 50-0, even if you take those two fights away, he's still 48-0.
Right, I could take 2 fights away. I could take 2 fights away from Manny Pacquiao.
So, but I put it like this: if you took those 2 fights away, I think it makes his legacy look better. If he would have just stopped at 48, then I think his legacy would look better than him going and fighting Andre Berto and then going and fighting Conor McGregor.
Well, it's set in stone, so he is what he is now. You know what I'm saying?
And if he comes back and fight Pacquiao, I think he could redeem himself if he beat him. If he beat him fairly this time, I think he would be placed at the top of the record books. But I think if that fight goes away and never thought of again, then Mayweather's gonna be like number 10, 11 in the record books.
Nah, but
what would you put him at? What would you put him at?
Listen, how many people did 8 divisions and 5 live? Did Sugar Ray? Did any of these? Did they do 5 little?
Well, I'm not disagreeing on that. I'm just saying, I know where I put Pacquiao at. I got Pacquiao in the top 5. He's in the top 5. But what would you put Mayweather at? What would you put Mayweather in your top 20 of all time?
You know why I can't do it? Because you're basing Sugar Ray Robinson, Jack Johnson, Armstrong. You're basing all these.
you don't even got to be your top 20.
Look, you know how I'm saying the generation of boxers and shit like that. To see, you know why I see it? Because I did a thing. I went around in Brooklyn. I was asking who you think is the greatest of all time, right? And the young kids was like the best ever, Mayweather. And then when I asked the old people, they be like, "Oh, Muhammad Ali." So you know, time goes on. Next 50 years, they're not gonna be talking. I mean,
I put it like this. If you could only mention 10 fighters that you've seen, out of that 10 fighters, what would you put Mayweather? If you had a top 10 and you can only put 10 fighters that you've actually seen, what would you put Mayweather in that top 10?
Maybe 7 or 8.
7 or 8. I would agree with that. I would have Pacquiao like somewhere around 2 or 3.
Right.
Because Pacquiao's done things in the sport that Mayweather's never done. It's kind of wild.
Like I said, 50. There's boxers that have 50-0 and 50. Even if like super lightweight or featherweight or whatever.
That 8 division is never gonna get broken. Nobody's ever gonna go that small to that big ever again.
8 and 5 million. Who's doing that right now? Or who did it?
Not even Canelo. Canelo has a chance of getting close, but he's not gonna break a record. No. Ain't no way he's gonna go up to super heavyweight and try to fight those. He's not going up there.
But this is what I'm trying to explain. Like Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson said recently that Manny Pacquiao, Mayweather, why you're not fighting a fighter, like a pro fighter? Why are you making a mockery of the sport? It's not what I'm saying. It's what Mike Tyson said. You should have spinal.
But that was the point I was trying to get at. Is it a mockery though? Let me put it like this. Okay, everybody knows really why he won't come back to the sport, right? You know why he won't come back to the sport. You know why he won't come back to the sport. But the thing with his hands and with his hands being messed up and him having to do certain things for his hands and he can't get sanctioned because I think VADA doesn't exist. What is it? One of those sanctioning bodies. USADA doesn't exist in boxing anymore.
The last fight that USADA had tested was McGregor because he's a UFC fighter. They mess with UFC fighters now. I think it's just VADA now that's testing. So
my question is, even if he comes back, are you going to see the same fighter? It's not going to be the same Floyd Mayweather. It's not going to be the same Floyd Mayweather. Well, because he had allegedly he had certain advantages when he was doing all that. So it's not going to be the same Floyd Mayweather when he comes back.
Well, he could have been the same Floyd Mayweather if he was fighting boxers like Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao for Chris Algier. How many? Batista, He fought a lot of fighters, man. Like it's just not Broner and Thurman. He's been doing his thing.
He's went through several names that were expected to be good boxers until they faced off with Manny Pacquiao, and he just did away with it. Yeah, so I can't disagree with that. I do feel like I feel like this about Mayweather. I don't think he's ever coming back because everybody knows now that he cheated allegedly. And I feel like if he comes back, he runs the risk of getting beat, and it just tarnishes his whole career. You know, why risk what you built? I mean, who cares if you got it kind of shystily? You did it. You know what I'm saying? You didn't get caught in the process. So why risk it now? Why risk it?
Well, there's no risk Mayweather. That's why I call him that. He's coming back, but he's just coming back for like fights that he got the advantage on. He's not.
But they're not real fights. They're not real fights. They're not real fights. They're not real fights. I feel like this. I feel like hey, let him make his money. Because I would say the same thing about Pacquiao. I don't want to be the hater. I don't want to be the hater. You know what I'm saying?
There's nothing wrong if he's going to come back and do those fights. That's what I'm saying. At the same time, but I'm saying if you, I don't like Mike Tyson said he's making a mockery of the sport, right? But he also set the trend. Okay, in this generation, you know, Muhammad Ali did it with an MMA fighter, but he's doing it now, right? It's just set the trend in this generation that they feel is new and shit. It ain't nothing new, right? But
yeah,
if Manny Pacquiao went over there to the PBC to fight you, and they promised you a fight, or maybe you assumed that you was going to get a fight with Mayweather, the same thing is going on in my head. Like I don't understand. How you have to
hold on, let me ask you this. Because we gotta get ready to get at her for my battery. Somebody asked you, I got 2 questions.
Somebody asked you, I got 2 questions.
Do you act well since you was talking about that point? Do you actually think in Manny Pacquiao's mind he believed that he was going to get a Floyd Mayweather fight from going to the PBC? And then I'm going to ask you this question out of the chat box, and then we gotta get out of here for my camera die.
Oh, this is a question you want me to ask you? This one?
Yeah. Do you believe that Manny Pacquiao Do you think that Manny Pacquiao actually believed he was going to get a Floyd Mayweather fight when he went to the PBC? Do you actually think Floyd Mayweather told him, "Hey, I'll give you a fight if you came to the PBC"?
Hey, I'll give you a fight if you came to the PBC.
Yeah, I could assume that he wanted the rematch. What man doesn't want a rematch? And what it's like saying Tyson Fury and Wilder. You know how many people out there want Wilder to fight Tyson Fury, the rematch? And you know how many people think that he don't deserve a rematch? Right? Yeah. So it's like this. All icons run it back. All the big dudes run it back. Everybody runs it back. Muhammad Ali. Everybody runs it back. That's something in the sport of history. Right? So I will assume it, but then if you have somebody saying, yeah, you might, that could connect to your assuming, and that can make a strong argument. I might get this fight with Mayweather.
You keep making good points.
You keep making good
points up, though. It's gonna make your stream keep going on. Now I got another question based on what you just said. Okay, so does that make Mayweather even more special? Because you only get one crack at him. Since you only gonna get one Mayweather fight. So you gotta beat him. You gotta beat him. So does that make him?
Let me answer this. How many rematches that Manny Pacquiao have? And ask me, how many rematches did Mayweather have?
But I'm saying, okay. I'm saying though, doesn't that make something that you can only get once more special than something you can keep getting?
Listen, I mean, if I lost to him, I would want a rematch. You know what I'm saying? So then, I'm just saying, I would want a rematch. And then, guess what? You got PBC over here putting shit in your ear and your team talking about, yeah, we could do this rematch because it's the biggest fight. You assume it's the money. I could get a rematch. I want a rematch. All this shit's add up in your head. And guess what? After that shit, that stunt with Duco Promotions, Robin Manny Pacquiao, you don't think he don't want to be separated from Bob Arum? So that's what